Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha. Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara. Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarvamangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike. Sharanyatrambike Devi Narayani Namostute. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shri Hanumanji Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 3rd of October 2025. I want to offer my respects, Ananta Koti Namaskar, prostrations to all the great sages and to Bhagavan residing in the heart of every single being inside the Atman as Sakshi. With that prarthana, we are continuing to examine Prema Bhakti and the Jivan Mukta Sthiti. Right? So along those lines further, there's a couple of points I want to make sure we are very, very clear about. In the history of the world, for Sanatana Dharma, for example, there is quite a bit of development of the Upasana. Upasana meaning worship modality, worship of deities, worship of God in particular ways. It has developed over hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of years. Again, this is only Sachin's interpretation here. This is a platform here. This is a platform where I will share with you completely what is in my mind without any hesitation. And you can ask anything you want without hesitation also. So the development of Sanatan Dharma has happened by the anubhav of the saints, of the rishis. It is not the development merely through the intellectual, analytical fabrication or something like that. No. There is a big difference between the two. I'll give you an example. Right now we just had Navratri, right? We just had 9 days of Navratri and then the Vijayadashmi. Is it just some fabricated thing? No, it is not. It has been brought out into the society by enlightened saints, enlightened sages, jisko sant kehte. Enlightened in the sense that they are having anubhav of those higher tattvas. Bhagwan Shankar, forms of Devi, goddess. These are not imaginary beings. That's not what it is. It is experienced. They are experienced. They are seen in higher consciousness. And the rishis that have come from thousands of years back, and then from after them many, many, many paramparas, many different types of upasana, Bhagwan Shankar, Devi upasana, Ganesh ji ki upasana, Surya ki upasana, Vishnu Bhagwan ki upasana, etc. All of those upasanas that have come about, they are not imaginary. They are not somebody created some hypothetical thing. No, it's not like that. It is based on anubhav. And it is not only based on anubhav, the rishis have shown methods, processes, mantras, stotras, scriptures to open the door into those tattvas of God. Bhagwan ki vibhuti, Bhagwan ke swarup jo hai, Bhagwan ke dham jo hai. So it is time tested and it is very, very authentic. I hope this is clear. If you have questions about this, please ask. Because I know that some of you are listening to a lot of other programs from other teachers also, from our Angel Wing programs also, my Thursday evening program also. So there shouldn't be confusion because there's a lot of different ways to see these things. But here in the morning satsang, Sachin will present from whatever has been clear inside my mind as it is. Without any kind of any other, how can we say it? any other perspective as such. It is going to be presented to you based on Sachin's perspective and what is clear inside of me. That's what I'm going to share with you. All right. So in other formats, it's going to be presented in other ways because of various reasons: academic perspective, historical perspective, anthropological, those kinds of things. So right now, let's be clear, and I want you to consider carefully. Because people ask us these questions. They ask, in the Hindu community, even your children will ask you, family members will ask you, other people in Sanatan Dharma ask you, "Ye sab kya chal raha hai?" There's a lot of confusion. So the first point to keep in all of our minds with humility and prarthana is that Santa Anubhav, Rishi ka Anubhav, Rishi Parampara, who are sitting in meditation, dhyan, they are sitting in the nature, in inner worlds, and they are granted by krupa, by grace from higher consciousness, higher reality, mantras, Veda mantra. Veda mantras are there, they are granted, and then the vibrational mantras. So from all of that, this entire massive tradition developed, but the tradition in its bona fide format, through the sampradayas, through the different doorways, pathways, is to reach the super consciousness. Yes, that is not fantasy, it is not anthropology, it is not historical fabrication. Things have been changed over time, and like people say with Christianity and all that, it's not like that at all. Take, for example, the Om mantra. Om mantra is not somebody's creation. It is a discovery. You're sitting in dhyan, or you're vibrating with that. It's there. It's not somebody created that thing inside their mind. It's not like that. So Om mantra is not like that. Not a single Veda mantra, Namah Shivaya mantra, and all the Veda mantras are not created by any human being. They are called Apaurushaya. They are revealed in the mind of the rishis who are having that curiosity and prarthana to the Supreme that I don't know who you are, you please reveal yourself. That's it. Now from that massive hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years of tradition, mantras, stotras, scriptures have been brought out. They have been revealed further. It has expanded. Yes, there is the seed of truth that then is expanded further. Like the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam was only a few verses, and then it expanded into 18,000 verses by Shukdev Goswami, by Vedvyasji himself, in fact. There is a history of how this development happened, but the development is based on Anubhav. It is not based on fantasy. For example, take Devi Saraswati. Is that some symbolic image of learning only? Is that all it is? Symbolism. Western scholars, even Eastern scholars will say, "Sab kya symbolism hai isme? What you're doing? What is this foolishness?" Aisa nahi hai. By chanting the mantra Om Aim Swaha, Saraswati Bij mantra, Saraswati Sahasranam, by connecting with all the stotras, mantras and the vigraha, by doing that, this is how the rishis and the great saints, they pull this together. Masses can connect with that Saraswati Tattva. It's not imaginary. Anubhav ka prashna hai ye. But how do you know it is not imaginary? Start doing the mantra sadhana. Karo Saraswati Shastranam with Shraddha. Some Shraddha has to be there, otherwise the progress cannot occur. There has to be Shraddha. Shraddha ही नहीं है संतों के वचन में, शास्त्रों में, तो क्या होगा? कुछ नहीं होगा. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparah sayitendriya. Without Shraddha, nothing is possible. It's true in the worldly life also, right? When we go to a university, enroll in a bachelor's program in chemistry or physics or biology, there is Shraddha that the university is bona fide, the knowledge is authentic, I'm going to learn, I'm going to get... Ye sab Shraddha nahi hai, aur kya hai? Without Shraddha, nothing happens in life. Even when people get married, they said, we have a lot of faith in each other. We have faith that life will be good. It will be like this. It will be like this. It is Shraddha only. We drive a car from one point to another. We have Shraddha that we will reach safely. Anybody is given guarantee in anything in life? No. It is Shraddha. We get on an airplane. We have Shraddha on the pilots, the pilot and the co-pilot, that they're not drunk or high on drugs or alcohol or who knows what. Or they're certified. What if you have two people who don't know how to fly the airplane, or they have some half-baked knowledge? How do you know that? You don't know that. But when you purchase the ticket, American Airlines, Delta Airlines, there's Shraddha. That the airline is good, the plane is maintained, there's proper fuel, there's proper balancing, proper maintenance, the pilots are trained. All of this is Shraddha. Have you gone to check when you buy a plane ticket, has Sachin or any of you gone to check the airplane itself and everything else? No. We have Shraddha. Is it true or not? Ask yourself this question. We have Shraddha in every dimension of life. Similarly, in the same way, meaning I don't want to use that word hamare. Bhagwan ne jo diya hai, jo reveal kiya hai, Sat Shastra. It is a matter of Shraddha. Ved mantra, Vedanta ke jo mantra hai. And the Prastantraya, Brahma Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, and the Puranic literature. इसमें श्रद्धा नहीं है तो क्या होगा? You can maybe be just a scholar or an atheist. कुछ नहीं. It's all meaningless. If it's meaningless, then one is stuck. If Sachin says, oh, that airplane is useless, meaningless, it cannot take me anywhere. It doesn't do anything. It's just a foolish thing. And I will never go. Then you'll never go on an airplane. I have to have some Shraddha somewhere. Then I can say, okay, I will go on the airplane. Isn't it so? Bhagavan Krishna says, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam, not buddhivan labhate jnanam. See this point. That's why I want to make it very clear. Our other programs are done in different ways for various reasons. There's a scholarly way. There's all those perspectives are all there. Achai. You can do a historical analysis. You can do all kinds of psychological brain science analysis on God and faith and belief and relationship structure. So much. PhDs are given in this thing. It's fine. But that requires a lot of time to study. Years and years. And even after doing that, you may be nowhere. So a little bit of that is okay, but too much of that kind of analysis is not going to lead to Shraddha as such. Maybe it can, but it can sometimes lead to a lot more confusion because you don't know how to handle that. So be careful. Even with scriptures, even people with scriptures, right? Sachin's humble recommendation to all of you is to go deep into Bhagavad Gita. To everybody in the world. Bhagavad Gita ko base mein rakhna. Everything will connect properly. Everything will be understood properly. Then if you take, once the knowledge of the Gita is there, the understanding of the Gita is there, ask questions, do study, whatever you want to do, then everything will connect properly. All the sampradayas connect properly, the Veda mantras connect, our own devotion connects. You see, so the point Sachin is humbly trying to make here is that the Sanatana Dharma is not fantasy. It's not that Bhagwan Shankar is some symbolic fantasy, somebody's worshipping some image. People believe like that. No, that's not true. How do you know that's not true? Master Namah Shivaya mantra. You'll find out who is Shivji. It's based on anubhav, based on sadhana, based on experience, based on certain method that is shown. That there's a shivling, there is a process of doing the puja, etc. When you do this particular way, get your life in balance, then that doorway opens into that tattva. By krupa, it opens by grace also. It doesn't happen just like that. And when you start walking that path, life gets better, mind gets better, all those things that we talk about, all that happens. The point is, there has to be some Shraddha somewhere. Without Shraddha, you cannot walk that path. It's impossible. Marg milega bhi nahi haath mein. You just be stuck in the madness of this material world. That's all. Nothing other than that will come out of it. But it is definitely a matter of experience and anubhav. So Shraddha in scriptures or in words or in certain concepts that resonate, start with that. It's a small fire that opens up, fire of jnana, and then let it grow slowly, gradually. That is the development of Shraddha. But with Shraddha then comes sadhana. Sadhana is practice. Mantra sadhana, stotras, bhajans, Bhagwan ka dhyan, vigraha ka dhyan, sakar murti ka dhyan. You take any murti you want. Right now we just had Navratri, so there's murtis of Durga Devi, murtis of Kalika Devi, images of Saraswati Devi. Is it just fantasy? No. It's get that thing out for devotees. If somebody just wants to be a scholar and just do analysis, you can do that now. What is the big deal in that? Abhi to bahut easy ho gaya hai sab karne ke liye. But that's not Shraddha. Shraddha and Bhakti is a totally different level. Totally different level. Bhakti bhav se naam ratan karenge. One doesn't need 20 PhD degrees. One may be illiterate. Bhagwan mil jayega. And everybody else in between. No problem. You may be a great Pandit, great scholar, or maybe illiterate person, or anybody in between. Shraddha is available for everyone. But it requires a certain amount of starting point. To say that, yes, Bhagavad Gita, you start going through it. But when the Shraddha develops, that this is Param Satya, that's the next stage. That doesn't happen it requires study. Study is necessary. Then that faith begins to develop that this is correct. Then it opens from inside. I can see the truth. The truth begins to shine. That is Guru that is becoming active inside of us. And then the various sampradayas that exist, they are doorways to go further up. I hope this is clear. Otherwise there will be a lot of confusion. So make sure this is very, very clear. There has to be a base. You can't develop spiritual realization without a solid base, and that base is Srimad Bhagavad Gita. There is no other base compared to that. That is the absolute base. And with that base, we can develop everywhere. Now, it is possible just to do an analytical study of the Gita. That's good. Achha hai, karo. But that's not Shraddha. That's not faith in Bhagwan. Shri Bhagwan Vacha. Bhagwan mein Shraddha rakhni, Bhagwan Krishna mein Shraddha rakhni, Bhagwan Ramchandra ji mein, Bhagwan Shiv mein, these different incarnations that have come in the Sanatana Dharma to develop faith that develops through the mantra and through the Gita. Each devata or each form of God has specific mantra, and each devata has a specific residence actually. That's interesting. Bhagwan Shankar exists in the Mahakailas. Bhagwan Krishna exists in the Golok Dham. Unke sab alokik dham hai. That has been also outlined, has been explained. But that is not explainable or even understandable until we are in that level of realization. How that can even be understood. Think about it that way. It's not something that can easily be understood. You see, it's like this. Take this Milky Way galaxy we have, right? We take a spaceship and somebody says, I want to go into outer space. Okay, you go into outer space. That is one level. But in outer space, there are so many destinations. There's the moon, there's the sun, there's so many planets upon planets. Other suns are there. Milky Way galaxy has billions of stars. Kitne destination hai wahan? तो भगवान के धाम भी ऐसे. There are countless abodes of God in the Chidakash. अभी Chidakash क्या है? What is Chidakash? See, this is the Chidakash is conscious space. That is where everything, all the material world exists and spiritual world. right? But to access that, to live in that higher dimension, this is what Sanatan Dharma is. Sanatan Dharma isn't about just rituals and some mythological characters and aisa nahi hai wo. People don't know what it is even. Our people in the Sanatan Dharma don't know what it is. How anybody else can understand it? So it is an access point into the highest of reality, into billions of universes. For example, this Namah Shivaya mantra, as an example. Up karo Namah Shivaya mantra 1008 times every day. Keep increasing. You see the changes that happen from inside. It is an internal journey into that Param Tattva. It is a rocket ship. The mantras, different Ved mantra, different mantras that are granted, that have come down in tradition, they are a rocket ship. You go into them further, and they will take you further up into those higher dimensions. And it allows us to reach our full potentiality in the human form. In this body, the great sages like Shankaracharya ji have taught us, don't use this body only for Vishaya Bhog, like an animal, or less than an animal. Animal level is also good. This is less than animal level. Most people are not even living at animal level. That animal level would be something great actually. They're not even living at animal level. Animals don't kill each other, kill their own kind. They don't smoke, they don't take drugs and do terrible things to themselves and to others. Look at the harm humanity is causing to itself. Animals don't do that. So don't say a human being is like an animal. Human being is less than animal, not even animal. That would be good if human being was at an animal level. That would be very good. Human being is not even at the animal level. Where's the question of realizing God? You see, this is the reality. And then of course you have small percentage that are highly evolved. Wo alag baat hai. That is our goal. We want to get into that higher realization. So the technology is available. It is a technology. It is a psychological/spiritual technology. That's what it is. So when we do arti, for example, hum jo arti karte, clockwise arti, then there's a way to do the arti, right? It is a technology of resetting your mind, your senses in devotion to God in that form. Vivekananda Swami was asked one time in the America somewhere. He says, why these Hindus are worshipping all these forms, these devotees, these images and all. What nonsense is all this? So then you may be familiar with this. So he was at somebody's house, and there was that individual, some Western fellow, had a big portrait of his grandfather. He loved his grandfather so much. So he said, Vivekananda Swami said, take this down. He said, okay, took it down. He said, now I want you to spit on this picture. He said, no, I cannot do that. This is my grandfather. He said that this is a painting only, it's not your grandfather. But no, I feel this is my grandfather. It would be disrespectful. Then Vivekananda Swami said, if you can see your grandfather in this picture, why human beings cannot see the Supreme Paramatma in the form of, in the various images that are created? Because that is Shraddha. Krishna came sometime back, Ramchandraji came sometime back, Shiva is there. We can create a murti and believe from inside, Shraddha, that this is Paramatma. For me, what's the problem in that? If you can see your grandfather in that portrait and you have so much respect, why is it that a person who is seeking God, that person can see God, can believe that the presence of God is in the murti? That's a technology. It's a technology. Now, that murti that is created, iski pratishtha hoti hai. So now you're asking that Supreme Paramatma to come in this form. Why? Doesn't God exist everywhere already? Yes. That is a belief also. Ishavasya midam sarvam, from Upanishadic time. They didn't have murtis. And in fact, in the Upanishad, there is an edict, Nacha pratima asti. Do not create any images. Actually, in the Upanishad, it says that. Now, we have a big problem here in Sanatana Dharma. When it says in the Upanishad that do not create any images, then why so many images are created? Sounds contradictory. It is not. It is not contradictory. This requires a little deeper explanation. It means that do not fabricate something in your mind. Ask the divine to be present everywhere. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. That is the goal. But to reach that goal, we need to some starting point. So the rishis said people cannot reach that goal that way. You have to have some image. And before the images were there, the different forms, there was only Havan, Yagna, only fire. That's it. There were no images. There were no temples or anything. There was only Havan Kund. Nothing else was there. And mantras. And sadhana. That's it. Nothing else. You see? So, and then eventually these images were brought out as a way for human beings to have a relationship with God, because we can relate to Paramatma through an image. It is easier to relate that way. Why do we keep pictures, these family albums? We take so many pictures, put it on Facebook and all that thing. Why? Are they not images? That is a way of connecting with others. It is a way of relating to others. It is a means of connection. So one understanding of these different forms that have come about from the Puranic literature, from other places where these forms that have come about of Shiva, of Devi, of Ganeshji, these 5 major strands. Shiv is Shaiva worship. Vishnu ji ki bhakti is Vaishnava worship. Shakti ki worship is Shakta Sampradaya. Then there's Ganpati ji ki worship as Ganpatya Sampradaya. And the 5th one is Surya Narayan. Surya ki jo Upasana. These are the 5 major Upasana strands in Sanatan Dharma. Isko Panchayatana kehte hain. Right? So they have come about through the tradition so that we are able to connect with that supreme Brahman through these strands. They all lead to Brahman. But again, what is Brahman? What is, they are Ishwaras. Are they actually present? Yes, they are actually present. How do you know that? You have to go into Samadhi. It's very simple, right? Right now we have this James Webb Space Telescope. It is finding new galaxies upon galaxies, and it's changing so many theories in astronomy. Nobody knows now. These physics books are going to be changed. Nobody knows what to make. Big Bang Theory, hai ki bhi nahi. So many theories are going to be changed. They have found stuff that contradicts all these theories. So, if a person says that I want to see what the James Webb Space Telescope is bringing out, that person has to go to the laboratory, has to see the pictures, has to understand them. But if somebody says, I don't want to see any of that, I don't want to know that, I just want to see just only what I'm seeing right now at night time, that's everything. Isn't that Agnan? See how the telescope has expanded our vision? Isn't it so? Similarly, the scriptures, the teachings, the various Guru Paramparas, the mantra sadhanas that have come, they expand our inner psychological vision out of the Jagrat Sapna Shushupti Avastha. Jagrat Sapna Shushupti, waking, dreaming, deep sleep state, ये तो हमारा अनुभव है, इसमें कुछ शास्त्रों की भी जरूरत नहीं है. This is our experience. And this is all we have to play with. Now, through the mantra sadhana, Bhajan, Bhakti, Manan, Chintan, all these different things that have come about, Shraddha in the forms of God, what does that do to our mind? It cleans it up, it focuses it, it allows to open that doorway out of the binding of Jagra Swapna Shushupti. This is what is called Jivan Mukti. So it is an internal doorway. You're trying to open the doorway out of the prison of Jagrat Swapna Shushupti. Even to understand that sentence, bahut badi baat hai. That's not written in psychology books. Psychology hasn't even caught up with this idea. It doesn't even understand Swapna Avastha properly, how it can go up beyond that. Hamari hi Avastha. Where are you going to find God? Within inside of you internally. It is a discovery in the internal journey. That is bhakti. Bhakti is an internal transmutation of energy into pure, absolute love. That is called bhakti. So vasanas they're rakshasi, this Mahishasura and all these things we've been talking about. वो सब राक्षसी वृत्ति है. That rakshas means what? It is eating up power, time, energy, buddhi, shakti, and destroying it, and ahankar is eating that up and is keeping the jivatma stuck in lower consciousness. कितना साइंस है क्योंकि it's so fantastic. सनातन धर्म का महिमा तो देखो. People say, why all these temples and why all these murtis and puja? This is why. मंदिर का कितना महिमा है. Rishis, of course, who were in the highest consciousness, they realized Brahman is everything. But वो तो एक अलग बात है. To reach that, you need some way to reach that. We all need some method, some doorway into that. कोई मार्ग तो होना चाहिए ना. I'll give you another example of this. Look, I said it maybe before. Sachin goes to a park, which I do from time to time. Baitho park mein. What is there? Nature, Prithvi, Jal, Vayu, Tej, Akas. Is it not true? Chemistry, physics, engineering principles, everything is around me. Is that not true? Of course. But unless I go to the university, unless I enroll in the chemistry department or take classes and all that, I will not know what is going on around me from that perspective, from the perspective of biological sciences, chemical sciences, from the perspective of the laws of physics. Unless I go to the university, how can I sit on a park bench and see those laws? I cannot. I mean, I can go to the park bench and say, I'm going to a park and I just see what I see. I see anubhave. But one who has knowledge of physics and chemistry can see now the same phenomena in a totally different way, in a much more evolved way. Similarly, we can go to the park and I can say God exists everywhere. Ishavasya idam sarvam. But that doesn't mean हमारी ऐसी स्थिति है हो गई है कि we can actually perceive that तत्व. उपनिषद के जो ऋषि थे, वेदांत में जो सब बात लिखी है, there were no temples at that time. There were sant ashram. They were called ashrama. See this word ashram. Ashram is important. Ashram means that is a place where this research happens. And then they're doing sadhana. What is a sadhana? With the fire, with the homam, with the havana, and they're doing mantra sadhana. Just om, and the om mantra was revealed. Then, and when you're offering, then they also, because buddhi, God has given us, they discovered how to connect our internal Shakti with the Jwala, with the flame, with the Agni Tattva. See this amazing connection. Agni Tattva and the internal Shakti are connected because that same Agni Tattva is running this entire body. Surya Narayan ki hi Shakti hai hamare sharir mein. Isme Shakti to alag nahi hai. So when we are doing havan, homam, all these things, like you've been seeing me do this over the last many days. Why? What does that do? It changes the dynamics of the chakra rotations. The discovery of the chakras rotation, the blockages get removed because the awakening of internal power is there. All of this discovery is there. And not only that, there is realization of a much greater, open, wide consciousness, apart from that small mouse-like consciousness. That is why Ganesha is sitting on that mouse. You see, so that limited thinking, limited feeling, this goes away. It is a technology to expand love, to expand awareness, to expand and to move into the limitless Brahman. Brahman is the discovery of the rishis. That is vast, unending consciousness. Yeah, so one step at a time, every day becomes a beautiful journey into the highest of realization. And this is why after thousands and thousands of years, we are in such a blessed position to take, we are just given directly the fruits of this tree. All we have to do is eat them. We are given mantras, we're given stotras, we're given all puja paddhati, everything is given to us. We didn't have to discover it for 10,000 years or more. It's given to us. Because it is given to us, all we have to do is to put it in our mouth. Bas itna hi karna hai. And so that is what we are attempting to do. One step at a time, one day at a time. And this is how, when we connect with that higher reality, slowly, it's not like in one day it's going to happen. It has its development. But that connection gets more and more enhanced. And in that enhanced connection, then one is not bound inside the three gunas of Maya. The three gunas of Maya are also great discovery. A great discovery. So it's a lot of beautiful internal development, Saundarya. And eventually that leads to Atmadarshan. Atmadarshan is where our mental framework is so harmonized through all these different Bhagwan ki Bhakti, Upasana, Seva, all of that. That no longer is the Bhakta stuck inside the three gunas of Maya, the three avasthas, and the three bodies. Remember, 3, 3, 3. Right? This is the point. Jagrat, Swapna, Shushupti, Sthul, Sukshma Karan, Sattvagun, Rajasgun, Tamasgun. Sattva, Rajatama. 3, 3, 3. And out of all of this is the Atman. Atman is Brahman, divine consciousness. So then Jivan Mukti, the Jivan Mukta, is no longer stuck inside these. Yes, there is Jagrata Avastha. Yes, there is Swapna Shushupti. Yes, there are experiences of life. It's all happening in a balanced way. It's happening with freedom. One is not bound anymore in these three avasthas. Avastha ka bandhan nahi hai. ये बहुत बड़ी बात. बड़ी बात meaning it is an internal development. You know what happens inside our mind. We have so much content. We have so much stuff stored inside. We get so easily stuck somewhere. But the Jivan Mukta is one who is liberated. And so Sachin's humble request and approach here is to resonate with that sthiti. Jivan Mukti ki sthiti ke saath resonance karo. Then you can go through scriptures, teachings of great sages. वो सब वही मार्ग में है. Yes, little bit at a time, slowly. It's not, you cannot drink the ocean. Nobody can, little bit at a time. And then life just flows. So the enhanced connection with Bhagavan, it begins to really take hold. The dhyan, the manan chintan, the concentration or the absorption in God, it increases. Then, yes, we do our ordinary activity, as I mentioned yesterday. Bring Paramatma and the great sages in our ordinary activities. Kitna anand hai isme, kitni sundarta hai. That is the beauty of life. When in family life, in our normal day-to-day activity, there is internal harmony, there is the presence of Paramatma, the vision, hamari jo netra hai, isme Bhagwan ko rakhna. So what is the sadhana for today? Try this today. That bring in through faith, through Shraddha, कि my Ishta Devata, Ishta Devi, जो भगवान का स्वरूप है that we believe in, whichever one, God is only one, is looking through my eyes wherever these eyes go. That's all. Try it today. See something, see what happens inside. Automatically that viveka will come. Should I be seeing this? What is the impact? All kinds of jnana without even scriptures will come. Scriptural jnana will come this way, through anubhav. How? Bring inside one's vision that these eyes now belong to Bhagwan Krishna. They belong to Devi Durga. They belong to Bhagwan Shankar. You've given it over to them. They are looking through. They are seeing through. So whenever we look anywhere, You remember that Paramatma is looking through. My God, ये क्या अलौकिक बात है? Have you ever heard this before? Maybe. Has anybody tried it before? See what happens in that. This is Prema Bhakti, where we are bringing that Paramatma inside and asking that Paramatma to be present and see through these eyes, listen through these ears, talk through this mouth. When we do this, then something magical, I cannot describe what that is. You will have to find out for yourself. And then automatically, everything that needs to get out of one's life will be out. Everything that needs to remain will be there. That is Viveka. That Viveka will dawn inside that yes, when I'm speaking to another person, whoever they are, it is not, yes, functionally we're interacting like we usually do, but it is the presence of Paramatma inside and in the outside that is connecting. Yeah, my God, that is amazing, how this is possible. You're going for a walk somewhere, going for a drive, and you see everything that is there, the vision. But see, Bhagwan is seeing that. Mind will automatically go into higher contemplation. It will not be stuck in small things. And if it's stuck there, and if you remember simply that Paramatma is seeing through, let's say, oh my God, it will automatically shift. I cannot explain this. Aapko ye prayatna karna. You have to try this thing, magic. It is a real magic, spiritual magic. This is called spiritual magic. Try it. Try it for 1 hour. So during this 1 hour, that Paramatma is these hands, these legs, these eyes, this head, this tongue, it is given to Paramatma, and that same Prabhu is sitting inside. Aham sarvasva hridayam. I am in the heart. Now he's in the heart. Bhagwan is there. Bring him all the way around. This is called Murti Pratishta. That is called Shri Radhika Ji ki Krupa. When we ask Paramatma to live in every part of the body, in every part of the senses, इसको वचनामृत में कहते हैं भगवान ना अखंड धारक संत. ये संत की स्थिति है, ये महान स्थिति है, ये जीवन मुक्त की स्थिति है, ये अलौकिक स्थिति है, ये भक्ति है, पूर्ण भक्ति है, ये मीराबाई की स्थिति है, ये रामकृष्ण परमहंस की स्थिति है, ये चैतन्य महाप्रभु जी की स्थिति है. हमको चाहिए वो. Do we want it? If we want it, then say, yes, I already have it. But through Shraddha. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Don't delay. Mukta banna hai. Jivan mukta banna hai without delay, without taking another thousands of lives. Do this. All scriptures are inside of you then. Then when you read, automatically you will see something magic that will happen. Sachin आपको guarantee देता है. You open the Gita, आपको कोई भी सच शास्त्र open कीजिए. Open up Ramakrishna Paramahansa's teachings. Open up Vivekananda Swami's teachings. Open up Aurobindo's teachings. Open up the Bhagavad Gita, Naneshwari, बड़े जो संत परम. Open any of it up and start reading anywhere. And see that Bhagwan is seeing, Bhagwan is reading, God is present inside. You'll see the extraordinary transformation. This is the master key into Jivan Mukti. You don't need years for this. It is not a question of delaying. Delaying doing this is Maya. अभी आपको डेफिनेशन मिल गया माया का, हमको भी मिल गया. डेफिनेशन क्या है माया का? Delaying this, even for 1 minute, delaying this, that is Maya. And when we don't delay it, everything gets set. Then all of our sadhanas will continue. All that doesn't need to be inside our system will be thrown out. It will be filtered out automatically because we have asked Paramatma to live inside and then are living with that Shraddha, Nishtha that Bhagwan is with us, and that will lead to Anubhav of Paramatma. It will lead to resetting, it will lead to divine vision, Divya Drishti, Divya Shravan, Divya Bani. We speak a lot, right? We use a lot of energy in talking. all the nonsense talk stops. It will stop. That doesn't mean you'll be quoting scriptures to everybody. But as necessary to have the conversation, then one dives back into bhakti naturally. It's a realization how much time, energy we're wasting on nonsense things. It stops. वो totally bandi ho jayega. Because you'll know that Bhagwan is seeing, listening, what is this foolishness that I'm doing? You'll see what is vasana, what is maya, it will separate out. And then something, one more point, I'm going to take a little extra time. Something magical happens here. Our ahankar is seen that my ahankar wants this and wants this, wants to take somebody's fault and wants to say something negative and wants to do this. But Bhagwan is inside of me. These things don't belong. So then if the ego opens up in a negative way, it will put God on the side, and that is our ajnan. That is the asuri vritti. It is actually taking the Paramatma that is inside of us through faith and saying, you know what, you go back into the temple. You don't come inside of me, you go back into the temple. You see this point? Bhagwan ke this is what happens. Even in lives of devotees, mumukshus, it's written in Vedas, mumukshuni jnana ne vairagya rupi pakho bali jai. Burnt are the wings of jnana and vairagya of a mumukshu. Because the mumukshu is overrun by vasanas and other things and other difficulties and other tensions, and throws God out of the picture and dives right into the mud of the sansar, falling into a mud pit. Think about this. बहुत इस पर मनन कीजिए. Sachin is telling this, Sachin only, not telling anybody else. मुक्त बनना है, इतना ही करना. भगवान ना अखंड धारक बनी जाओ. इन्हें धारण करवा. In Gujarati we say, hold God. I can say I believe in God. I can say I believe in Krishna, I believe in Ramchandraji, I believe in Shiva, I believe in Devi. Fine. As time goes on, am I throwing them out of my mind and doing something else? That is Maya. That is Ahankar. That is Vasana. That is ego. Finding people's faults. Getting overrun by worry, tension, fear, all this mess. वो कुछ भी नहीं रहेगा. How it can remain? All the right actions will be there. These are the right actions to take. I will know. Tadami buddhi yogam. Bhagwan swayam buddhi yog dete. God is not far from us. It's not so difficult. It's not difficult at all, in fact. When we ask Paramatma through Shraddha, कि हे प्रभु आप आ जाओ, and not to move away from that Shraddha, from that presence, from that holding of Paramatma, don't move away from that. That will rapidly lead to Jivan Mukta Sthiti. Rapidly, I mean, you'll guarantee आपको जीवन मुक्त बनना है. किसको मुक्त बनना है? इतना ही करो. Do it today. Do it 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. That's all. Hold Paramatma inside. Don't let go. छोड़ना नहीं उनको. जो भी हो जाए जीवन में, whatever is going to happen, let it happen in this sansar. Don't let go of the Lord. Love thy Lord with all thy heart and all thy soul and all thy mind. Jesus का teaching है. भगवान कृष्ण स्वयं कहते हैं, मयि आवेश मनोये माम नित्य युक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते में युक्त तमामताः मयि बुद्धिम निवेशय. Enter into me, into that supreme Paramatma. और जीवन में और क्या करना है? काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, मत्सर, ये तो सब ट्रैश बात है. This has no place in life. This is, yeah, of course, there is a certain amount of grahastashram, interaction, fine. Even kam, vasana and all that, within certain limits of one thing. Some people, they made that their whole goal only. भोग ही करना है बस, विषय भोग. इसमें बुद्धि नाशात प्रणश्यति. इसमें और कुछ नहीं मिलता. क्या मिलता है? किसको मिला है? STDs, HIV, all these कितने रोग है. इसमें मिलता क्या है? भोग के लिए कितना अज्ञान. How to stop all this thing? How to evolve out of that? भगवान को अंदर में रखना. And then sadhana is done automatically. You don't have to do sadhana. The bhakti is erupting from inside, not because I am doing bhakti. It is because there is the presence of Paramatma, of Radha and Krishna, that we are the form of that great bhakti itself. And so the bhakti opens naturally. That is prema bhakti. Why is this so hard? इसमें difficulty क्या है इसमें? This is not hard. You know what is hard? Getting crushed again and again in the life and death cycle. That's hard. Not finding God. भगवान का साक्षात्कार, भगवान की भक्ति, जीवन मुक्त की स्थिति, तो it's available to all of us at any time. That's why Raman Maharishi said that the self is already realized and illumined. I hope with all humility, love and respect, these points are clear. Don't delay. The more we delay, the more we are unnecessarily binding ourselves. Delay nahi karna. For what reason? Deposit the $1 billion check. It's like that. You have, let's say each of us, we have, $100 billion check. Billion, not million. $1 billion check. It's in our pocket. It's with us. But we said, no, I don't want to deposit that. I just keep it here. इसकी आरती करेंगे, पूजा करेंगे, इसको डिपॉजिट नहीं करेंगे. कोई अर्थ है इसका? हम भगवान की आरती करते, पूजा करते, उपवास करते, कितनी साधना बहुत लोग करते हैं. They don't deposit परमात्मा inside. They keep him outside. He says, oh भगवान कृष्ण, श्री राधिका जी, भगवान राम, हनुमान जी, etc. आप वहां है, you stay there, I'll worship you. Yes, मैं आपकी वर्शिप करूंगा. But you better not come inside of me. You better not stay with me. I'll keep you at a distance. That is Maya. The worship is good. Upasana is good. Yes, if I recognize $100 billion check more than a piece of paper, I should recognize what it is. It's good to hold it in the hand. Everything is fine. It's good to keep it safe. Good to respect it, adore it. But guess what? I have to deposit that thing. If I don't deposit, that is meaningless. Deposit karo Bhagwan ko. Deposit Paramatma inside the eyes, inside the senses, inside the mind, inside the body, in every part of the limb. ये भगवान को, ये जो हाथ है, that hands are God is functioning through these hands. ऐसी स्थिति होनी चाहिए. You see some the magic. I don't know what words to use for this. But Vachanamrut में लिखा है, भगवान ना अखंड धारक संत. We'll look at it sometime. गरुड़ा प्रथम 27. क्या बात लिखी है? संत चाले त्यारे हूँ चालू रे, संत जागे त्यारे हूँ जागू रे, संत हुने हुते संत रे, एमा भेद नथी एक रति रे. निष्कुलानंद स्वामी जी कहते हैं कि भगवान ऐसे भक्त के साथ अखंड रहते हैं. तो we don't want that. We want all this trash still inside of us. Throw that. That trash will automatically go. You don't have to worry about it. The moment Sachin deposits $100 billion check, and the moment that his deposit happens, at that moment, all of the poverty disappears. All of the limitations disappears. And almost endless possibilities in the material world open up. The working $25 an hour or $30 an hour is सब small बात है, वो सब निकल जाता है. When we deposit Paramatma inside, काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, मत्सर, आशा, तृष्णा, ईर्ष्या, अहंकार, राग, द्वेष, अहम, ममत्व, क्लेश, all this thing, everything, tension, worry, fear, everything obliterates. And Maha Anand की प्राप्ति होती है इसमें. That is कृपा of राधा रानी. वो कृपा है हनुमान जी की, वो कृपा है पार्वती जी की, वो कृपा है संत परंपरा की. ये किसकी तैयारी है? If we don't, we have a golden opportunity to understand this and to do this. If we don't do it, bahunam janmanam ante jnanavanam prapadyate. Many lifetimes. Still, the Vachanamrut में लिखा है, वरताल 5. આજે કરો, 10 વર્ષ પછી કરો, 1000 વર્ષ પછી કરો, 1000 જન્મ પછી કરો, કર્યા વગર છૂટકો નથી. Do it now, do it later, do it 1,000 lifetimes from now, do it 1,000,000 lifetimes from now. This is the thing to do. And until the moment we do this and we stay with it, we're going to be liberated. Then you never come out of the liberation. The moment we deposit the $100 billion check in the bank account, that's all the poverty is gone. The whole life is changed immediately. That's what it's all about. Everything is transformed right away. That is a material level example. I'm not equating this with money or anything. I'm just trying to give an analogy only. कि भगवान की भक्ति ऐसी है, भगवान में दृष्टि परम दृष्टवा निवर्तते. Then you start reading the Gita. It's not just a scholarly and all that thing we were talking. It is going to shine from inside. The words of the Bhagavad Gita shine from inside. The light of eternal mind, as is written in the Judeo-Christian tradition. बहुत अद्भुत बात है ये सब. Let's stop here for now. We don't feel like stopping, but let's stop here for now. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Dhyanamulam Gurur Murti Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mokshamulam Gurur Krupa Tameva Mata Chapita Tameva Bandhusha Sakha Tameva Vidya Dravinam Tameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Sarvamangal Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanyatrambike Devi Narayani Namostute. Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundaye Viche Swaha Durge Rakshini ठा ठा स्वाहा. श्री दुर्गार्पणमस्तु. ओम ह्रीं स्वाहा. श्री राधा कृष्णार्पणमस्तु.